Hello everybody, Brian Hoxie back here with another video. We've had a few videos already kind of talking about this game I've been messing around with, working on, changing up, doing different things with. Um, Essentially it's in my head it's a fighting game. The settings like Mad Max, post-apocalyptic. There's big giant territory, bunch of prisons scattered across the territory, and the wardens of each prison and the head warden have started like a fighting competition. Different fighters, and they have tournaments and seasons, all that kind of stuff, and ultimately a lot of the prisoners will get some favors, if they do well. So that's kind of the gist of the narrative of it. So in previous videos, and since I think the last one, I was using a Fury die, which is in a lot of play games, circle on three sides, square on two, and a triangle, which works fine. I'll keep that. I've got a bunch of cards that have those symbols on it, but I wanted to try something out, so I'm trying where they're, instead of just three symbols, the fighters can have um, four different symbols for their bonuses, depending on if the cards come up and their face here has power, he'll get to roll, and he'll already get 1 point for having power to knock down his opponent. But if he gets the little lightning bolt thing, he'll add three to that, or the heart, he'll add two to that, and so I kind of just broke it down. Being the wonderful artist I am, tongue in cheek, I tried a bunch of different pens and stuff like that, trying to make the symbols on there. I think this was my first one. This one was a little bit better. I probably could have picked maybe better icons to use that were but easier to draw, but I found a nice acrylic pen or some kind of oil pen. And granted, the stars are terrible. The hearts aren't great either, but um, it won't come off like the marker on these words, so these blank D10s. So get into the gist of this. So I did another random tournament. I have a big stack of fighters here. There's 144 of them, all different abilities, different strengths, all that. And I just shuffled the deck and dealt out four brackets with 16 fighters in each, and I actually have them based on how good they are. I have them ranked, so I just seeded them and then just played it out. So I'm gonna go over quick here. We're down to the final four. So in the first bracket, Malik Iron Fist Hayes, he was the number one seed, and he ended up going all the way through. He had a couple knockouts and a couple 6-0 wins. And the numbers, if you haven't seen any videos before, all this numbers and stuff and the game itself will make sense when I start playing. It's super easy game. So in bracket two, that was Aaron Kemp won that one, and he was the third seed out of all the guys in this bracket. Um, he pretty much won 8-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. The biggest in this one was Gene Foster, who was the 16th seed. I want to say he's like third or second to the worst fighter, and somehow he beat top seeded Kane 9-0, which was pretty unbelievable. But the cards just worked out. He only has a few qualities on his card, but they just kept coming up, and so So yeah, he made the upset, but then he got beat in his next fight. So in bracket three, we had Kaya Froyer. Uh, he was, let's see, the fifth seed, and he had some, 5-0, 6-0, 3-0. Then this the championship for this bracket. Um, I want to say usually I don't know. I average around 20 cards per fight. It takes 20 cards to kind of usually figure out a winner. I think this one was like 43 cards. They just kept battling back and forth. Um, they would one would get ahead, the other one would come back. It was crazy. It was a really good fight. And then the fourth bracket, this is Hunter Sullivan, and yeah, he got a knockout, 6-0, 3-0, and a pretty tough win in the championship bout. So we've got the final four, and the first fight is going to be Malik Hayes against Kaya Froyer. Hayes, he's in the 144 fighters. He is number third ranked overall. 6'4", 238 pounds. And Froyer, he is the 34th ranked fighter out of all those guys, 6'3" at 234. So these two guys are gonna go in the first semifinal, and then we'll talk about Kemp and Sullivan after that. So instead of really explaining the game, I think it kind of, once I start playing it, you'll kind of see how it works. I was just looking to make something kind of a fighting type game, not really boxing, not really strictly MMA, kind of in between how I thought maybe it would, you know, a Mad Max type of prison fight would go. In my head, they're in a steel cage, whether it be a square, rectangle, or octagon, I guess. Um, and there could be knockouts, but there's judges, around, and every time a fighter either has a good punch or good kick or whatever it is, they have this health track kind of, and once they get down to zero, then the other person wins, unless there's a couple chances they might have to knock the guy down, and then subsequent chance for the other fighter to get up or not based on what kind of qualities he has, and we'll see if that comes into play. So we got Hayes and Froyer be our first match, and you can see pretty good, I think. They both Hayes has 8 of the 10 qualities. They could have 5 offensive qualities, 5 defensive qualities. Nobody has all 5, but the key is not only if they have 4, but they have better chances of adding to their point value that they're going to take away from their opponent if they have the right icon rolled up. So all right, got those shuffled up, give it a cut, and we'll start the first semifinal here. Hayes against Froyer. All right, make sure you can see that. Looks good. You can see this, and somewhat see the cards, so we're pretty good there. All right, here we go. So, does Froyer have block? He does. And on a diamond, he's going to knock Hayes down. Nope, doesn't get that. Does he have combo? He does. All right, so automatically, because he has the offensive quality, he's going to knock Hayes down 1 point. Now he's going to get a chance to roll and see if he can knock him down additional points. And he got the lightning bolt, which is neither the heart or the sun, I guess you'd call it. So he will knock Hayes down to 11. Now, does Hayes have dodge? He does. And if he rolls a heart, he's going to knock Froyer down. Nope, didn't get that. Blue has footwork. He does. Now, he just has the defensive quality, so there is no bonus chance. So he just used his footwork to get out of the way. Oh, we got the outburst. Okay, so the outburst, kind of like an unusual result. It's very simple right now. I need to add some narrative to it, but essentially you're going to roll uh, 2d6s, a black and a white, reading the or the black first, and then you're just going to go with what the chart says. So we'll just see what happens here. I rolled a 65, and it's asking, does the red fighter have tough? Well, he does. All right. So the fact that he does, he's going to get to roll the 10-sided die, and depending on what it comes up, that's how many points he's going to knock down Freuler. And he got the sun. So it's just a 1 point. Just going to knock him down to 11. So we're both even at 11. Does blue have tough? He does not. So the fact that Freuler doesn't have tough, he's going to lose a point. Does Hayes have speed? He does. He's going to get a chance for maybe a bonus. He needs that sun, and he got it. All right, so he gets 1 for having speed and +2 for having the sun, so that's 3 off of Freuler. So he's going to go from 10 to 7. Does Hayes have kick? That's 1 he doesn't have. Actually, that's the only offensive quality neither one have. There's some automatic cards like this one. Blue is just going to get a +1 attack. So Freuler gets +1, knocks Hayes down to 10. Now red's going to get a +2 attack. So he's going to knock Freuler down to 5, and it's 10 to 5. Hayes in good shape here. Let's see if he can continue it. Again, Freuler doesn't have tough, so he's going to lose another point. Does he have footwork? He does, so he'll avoid losing a point. He does not have dodge, though, so another point down. Looking good for Hayes. Hayes has dodge, and he also has a bonus if he gets the heart. Nope, didn't get it. Does blue have kick? No. Does red have combo? He does, and a heart will give him 2 more. Yeah, that was on there. So he will get the point for the combo, for having combo, but he didn't get the bonus. So Freuler is down to 2, not looking good. Hayes has speed, and if he gets the sun, this fight's over. Yep, it's over. So not technically a knockout, just in my head it's just a decision. The fight ended, and Hayes won. Once the one fighter gets down to 0, then it's over. So Hayes is going to advance. Not a huge surprise. I mean, he's the 3rd ranked fighter in all the fighters. So he's like you see on his card, he's got got 8 of the 10 qualities and a lot of chances for bonuses. So all right, so that'll bring up our second semifinal. Aaron Kemp and Hunter Sullivan. So Kemp 6'1", 215, and Sullivan is 6'5", 252. So a little weight difference there, a little height difference there. But we'll see what Kemp can do. He's ranked 24th overall of all the fighters, and Sullivan 2nd ranked of all the fighters. Obviously, you can see by Sullivan's card, pretty tough. Got 8 of the 10 qualities, ton of bonuses, and a lot of the bonuses are +2s and +3s. Kemp, he's got 4. He's got 8 of the 10 qualities as well, but just not quite a punch if he gets those bonuses. But you never know. I mean, in fact, like I said, I had the one upset early in one of those brackets where I think it's I want to say the guy that upset want to say he's only got 2 offensive qualities and 1 defensive quality, but he got some good cards. He got an outburst roll where he knocked the other fighter down like 4 points. It was kind of just everything kind of aligned, so to allow him the upset. All right, give it a little cut here, and we'll start the second semifinal. So we got Kemp against Sullivan. Okay, so is Kemp tough? He is, and a lightning bolt will give him 2. No, didn't get that. Blue attack +1. So Sullivan's going to knock down Kemp. Going to knock him down 1. I think I said it, but there's four suns, 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 1 lightning bolt. So that's how the distribution is on the day. Does red have speed? Kemp does. And he got the triangle. So you get the bonus points. So Sullivan's down to 10. Blue tough, he is. Heart will give him 2. No. Got the diamond. Does red have dodge? He does. So he'll avoid. He doesn't have kick. These 2 guys, neither one of them have kick. Does blue have chin? He does. And a star, or the sun, will get him 2. Yes. So he makes the nice counter. Next down, Kemp to 9. So we're at 10 to 9. Is red tough? He is. Didn't get the lightning bolt. Does he have footwork? Oh, he doesn't have footwork. Actually, both these fighters, neither one have kick, and neither have footwork. So with Kemp not having footwork, he's going to lose a point. Does blue have dodge? He does. A heart. Yep, there it is. So +2. So Kemp now down to 6. Does red have power? He does. Triangle or a diamond? No. But he will knock Sullivan down to 9. So we're at 9-6. Does red have dodge? He does. Does red have block? He does. And outburst. This could be a big roll here. Kemp needs it to be for him. We're looking at 22. And 22 is asking, does blue have kick? And that is the one that Sullivan doesn't have, is kick. So because he doesn't have it, Kemp is going to get to roll on the chart. And just a 1 point. But it's 1 point. So now it is 8-6. Does red have power? He does. That's going to be 1 and no bonus. But he's coming back a little bit here. Does he have pressure? He does. That's kind of his one big thing. So sun, he'll get 2 extra points. Diamond, he'll get 1. And he got the star. So that's 1 for pressure plus the 2 bonus points. And all of a sudden, Sullivan is down to 4. Kemp's in the lead. Doesn't have kick. Oh, what a time for that to come up. All right, so this is the quick strike. This is the chance for a fighter, depending on which side it comes up, red or blue. We're going to roll, and if there's a knockdown rating at the bottom of each card, and if I roll and it's either 2 or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, Sullivan is going to knock down Kemp, and then Kemp is going to have an opportunity to get up. So first we'll see if Sullivan knocks him down. And a 7, he does. Alright, so Kemp is knocked down. And now we're going to see if he can get up or if the fight's over. And technically, yeah. So let's see. So when a fighter gets knocked down, we're going to look at this part of the chart here. And depending on what qualities they have, if they roll the numbers with the quality, then they essentially get up. So we need to see if he has chin. He does. Is he tough? He is. And he block. All right. So he's going to, if any of these numbers get rolled, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, or 2 or 12, Kemp gets up. The problem is, even if he gets up, he's losing 4 points. And he rolled a 7, and that is actually none of those numbers. Wow. So that's a knockout. Knockout for Sullivan. After he was trailing 6-4, he finds the punch that does it, and he wins. So it's kind of, to be honest, in the when I was dealing out the brackets, the number one guy, who is, let's see, Noah Walsh. He is the number one fighter, but I didn't deal him out. So these are the top two guys. It wasn't technically easy for them to get to this point, but they're both here for the championship of at least this tournament. I've run a few other tournaments using different add-ons. There's an add-on that you roll before the fight to see if something happened in the week leading up to the fight, and they could either gain points or lose points to start, depending on what happened. They got accused of doing something wrong and they were in solitary confinement, so you'd roll and maybe they start, instead of 12, they start with 10, or something good happened, they could start with 15 or 14 or 13. So I didn't use that in this one. Just pretty much just dealing them out and fighting them. But it gives some narrative. Some things can happen. Um, you know, Sometimes nothing happens. Pretty much on the chart I have, you first, like if these two guys were fighting, you'd roll, and if the sun came up, star, sun, whatever, then you would roll on the chart. If something else come up, then it would just be considered nothing special happened. They would just start at 12 and you'd move on. So, all right, so we got Hayes and Sullivan, the top two guys. Again, Hayes 6'4", 238. Sullivan 6'5", 252. Both pretty much. Well, Hayes won his the semifinal 10-0 pretty easily, and Sullivan was trailing until he got the knockout. So we'll just see how this plays out. Of course, both 8 of the 10 qualities, ton of chances for extra points. So we'll just see which fighter comes out on top. All right, first card, Red have power, and that's Hayes. And oh yeah, he's pretty powerful. He's going to get 1 for having it, and then if it's a lightning bolt, he'll get 3 more. If it's heart, he'll get 2 more. And it's a diamond, so he doesn't get any extra bonus, but he gets the first hit in on Sullivan. Does he have pressure? He does. Didn't get the lightning bolt, so Sullivan down another point. Neither one have kick, so that will not help Hayes. Another special card here, red and blue, each of them land an attack. So essentially each of them moves down 1. They trade. Does red have dodge? He does. And a heart will give him 2. And nope, so nothing there. Oh, Sullivan again with another chance for a knockdown. Let's see. And he gets the 6, so that is not in his range. He needed a 2 or a 7 through 12, and that's a 6. So takes a big swing, doesn't connect. Hayes is still up. Another Another trade there from both fighters. Alright, does Sullivan have tough? He is tough. And a heart will give him 2. Nope. Does Red have footwork? No. They each don't have kick and they each don't have footwork, so Hayes is going to lose a point. Tight fight so far. Blue have pressure. He does. Sullivan does, and doesn't get the bonus, but going to knock him down, and we're tied at 8. Blue have dodge. He does. Needs a heart. Nope. Red have block. He needs a diamond. Nope. Blue has pressure, so he's going to get 1, but doesn't get the lightning bolt. So I think maybe for the first time here, Sullivan has the lead. Hayes has chin, and that sun will give him 2. No, not this time. Does Blue have power? He does. Again, these are 2 really powerful fighters. So a diamond will give him 3 more, and a heart will give him 2 more, and he got the heart. So power plus the 2 bonus, that's 3. So that's a big 2, 3. Big exchange from Sullivan. It's 8-4. Does he have combo? He does. A heart will give him 2 more. No, just the 1. But still, he's in control here. 8-3. Hunter Sullivan. He has dodge, and the heart will give him +2, and that knocks Hayes down to 1. And here we go. So Hayes just barely hanging on. He has power. He got the sun, so that's not going to be a bonus. I'll knock Sullivan down to 7. And does Blue have block? He does, and a diamond, and this one's over. No. And there it is. They both exchange. Sullivan down to 6 and Hayes to 0. So Sullivan is your champion of this tournament. He's pretty good. I mean, he's not ranked second for any reason, for no reason. But so that's how the game works. Like I've said in previous videos, a lot of narrative could be built in. The cards could be cooler, not so plain Jane. But I think the gist of the game is pretty cool. It's pretty easy. I mean, the offensive guy, if he has it, he gets it. He gets to roll on bonus. He gets that many. Defensive, if he has it, he avoids it and might have a chance to counter it a little bit. So I'm not really sure. I like like I said, I used the Play Games Fury die. I have a bunch of cards that are made for that. Here's some of these. They just have the square, circle, and triangle. I like it both ways. I just wanted to do something different. Get away from the Fury die, from Play, because that's kind of their thing. But it's also easier with just the 3. And like I said, my artwork, not the greatest, but it works for me. But yeah, that's kind of the game. That's kind of how it works. That's the end of this tournament. I'll probably shuffle up another one and just keep messing around with it. Maybe hopefully add some narrative to the outburst chart. A little some flavor text. But that's essentially how the game works. So feel free to comment anything you think of. If you like it, don't like it. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye bye.